Okay. After consideration, I think we're going to Thavnair first. For Thavnair bound. Amorlasi. That's food. Oh. Tancred is eager to set forth for Thavnair. I have Kraw's instructions in hand. If you are ready to set out, then so are we. Having been to Thavnair before, I can travel by Aetheryte. But what of the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Kryl was of the same mind and has already secured the aid of the good folk of the confluence. We'll take ourselves there. The confluence, thou sayest. I'm afraid so, my friend. What? Is this where Moonbrita did her work? Thou wilt recall the hunt for Iceheart, unto whose sanctuary we delivered thee, owing to the knowledge of our comrade Moonbrita. Moonbrita was an authority on aetherology, a field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers at the confluence. Haven't you gone to see them yet? I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame, my courage failed me at the last. As it hath the many times I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus have I kept my silence. Whether you come with us or no is your choice and yours alone. If it is too difficult, we'll manage. Thou art kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the confluence, and I shall face that which hath long been overdue. If it's settled, then let us be off. When we arrive, we should look for a researcher named Kite. Oh, as soon as Urianger reacted like that, I had a feeling it was something related to Moonbrita. Damn it! Ah! That's actually kind of upsetting. Okay, hunt, I need to... Let's see, if I... Well, that's right here, but I want to go ahead, get that Aethernet shard, so I have all of that done. Actually, I probably should have just popped Sprint. It would have been quicker. I got that still at least. En avant. This is the stadium. Like, I'm assuming the Charlie Indian questline will take me here eventually anyway. But... oh well. Stadium, that's the last one. You have opportunities out to the 8th night shards of Old Shard again. Yep. Okay. I'd like to go ahead and... Diminutive Gleaner. Do my eyes deceive me, or are you Razia Orlandis? I am. As I live and breathe, it is you. I knew you'd be the first to... I knew I'd be the first to track you down. Who's the guild ship's top hunter now, huh? Wait, you had heard of guild ship hunts, yes? They're not so different from the hunts you're familiar with in Eorzea, as I understand it. I'd wager they're rather more challenging, but an adventurer of your caliber would never turn down a challenge, would you? No, you would not. Pray speak with the Northota at the peristyle to register your interest at your earliest convenience. That is over there. am Northreda. Have you come to place a bounty on an unruly beast? I was told to come here, actually. By the scholar, you're Razia? I was half convinced that set the others an impossible task asking them to find you. The Gleaner's Guild ship has begun posting hunt bills, you see, in the hopes of that capable individuals will take up arms to lighten our ever-increasing load. Unfortunately, capable individuals remains the sticking point. Few hailing from our fair polis are willing to take up arms, let alone be able to stand against the more fearsome specimens. You, however, have the experience and the grit that we need. When I heard that you had arrived on our shores, it was music to my ears. You needn't work for free, of course. We've done our research, and the rewards we offer are as fine as any you'll find abroad. Currency we employ is a relic of times when Gleaner was a great deal less figurative, so you may find it somewhat eccentric, but it's as good as Gil here. Okay. So some junior marks, get your feet wet, which is pretty standard, so whatever. Guild ship hunts. You are now going to take bills for junior marks from guild ship hunts, hunt boards in Charlian and Razatan. Defeat the monsters described on the bills, and you'll be rewarded with tokens that can be exchanged for exclusive items. Speak with either Jadalakshai in Old Charlian or with Meta in Razatan. New quest and associate marks will be available upon reaching level 83. Might as well grab those. Unbowed orchestral roll. Nagjin Cat. Diabolos Wings. It's 800. Rank 9 and 10 materia. Guess who's about to make a quick buck? Rank 9 is... that's crit. Yoink. I don't need them for a while yet. Sites of the S for sightseeing logs. I should probably go ahead and unlock that as well. Quick buck. I'm assuming this down here is going to be for the sightseeing logs. Babeth Ironheart. Beg pardon, I'm not going to bother to read all this. Well, I figured. Okay, thanks. Is there anything else? Optional. No. I'll poke at a couple of these quests. Leaves. That's probably gathering, crafting exclusive again. I'm going to assume it is anyway. Yep. Okay. And Gleaner leaves. I don't really need any like gear or anything right now, so I'm not gonna bother with it. Well, now, this is rather a lot of stern faces. Are my library books overdue again? Not to all knowledge. We're associates of Kryl, of the students of Baldessian. We seek passage to Havnair and understand that you can assist us. Ah, the test subjects! Welcome, welcome. Sorry? Test subjects? Oh, you hadn't heard. Well then, allow me to explain. So, in order to travel to an aetheryte, you ordinarily need to be attuned to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out while you're a mess of aether hurtling along the life stream. An inconvenient but incontrovertible limitation of aetheryte teleportation. But what if I were to tell you there's a way to travel to an aetheryte without being attuned to it? Well, we've done it before. A way to teleport instantly to places you've never been. Well, I've done it before. And what was it? To get to Shiva? Yeah, it was to get to the Hakafa Amphitheater. For long years, we've labored to make such travel possible, that people might move about more freely. We've finally done it. We've created a new kind of aetheryte that doesn't require attunement. Truly? It changes everything. Well, my language may have been a bit misleading. The user need not attune to these aetherites, but the aetherites themselves must be pre-attuned to each other, thereby facilitating travel between the 2 points. But it just so happens that of our first test pair of aetherites, one has been installed here in Sharlayan, and the other over in Edelamad, a port town in Thavnair. Edelamad. As you may know, our nation has long maintained strong ties with Nzwazatan, and indeed, we owe much of this breakthrough to the contributions of their alchemists. So, to sum up, we're to test these aetherites. How fortuitous for you. I should mention that an accident has impaired my ability to channel ether. Will this be a problem? Not at all. As a matter of fact, you might say these aetherites were made for people like your good self. The magics imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A veritable dream come true. And far be it from me to worry about such things, but do we have permission to make use of your shiny new invention? The only permission required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. It may come as a surprise, but we actually struggled to find test subjects. Most people seem to have an unreasonable fear of their souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the life stream. In the statistically unlikely event that something goes awry. But it's plain that you aren't most people. Mistress Kryl truly knows how to pick 'em. You have an aetherite earring. If I might change the subject, are Master Wilson and Mistress Bloda not present today? Oh, you didn't hear? They've recently resigned their posts. Their expertise was needed elsewhere. A large-scale project held by the Forum itself, as I understand, but I'm not privy to the details. I see. By the Forum. Any other questions? No? Let's get going before you change your minds. Please cease your preparations and head outside to the Aetherite Plaza. I'll be along shortly. They've been dragged away by the Forum. Don't like that. Talking to Urianger last. I shall teleport the tried and trusted way. Good luck. Given my experience with teleportation, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have reservations, but I will trust in Kryl. Though words unsaid yet weigh heavy on my heart, I shall devote mine all to our task in Thavnair. Made me to reduce the boom
3. I'm already attuned to the crystal in Thavnir.
You are? Oh. I would have preferred more test subjects. Oh, well, never mind. If our 3 travellers could line up here, please. Yes, right there is fine. Take a deep breath, and I'll soon have you soaring through the ether. Oh, and one last thing.
What?
You might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
I love that you mentioned this now. That was rude. That was rude. To mention that after the fact. Oh my word. Oh.
Thavnir, home to city-state Rads at Han. Rising from the southeast waters of the Bounty, this Isle of Plenty served as the battleground for a conflict between 2 peoples. Their cultures bled into one another until a unique amalgamation was distilled from the chaos, in a process not unlike their precious alchemy. Once solidified as a single nation, an adamant stance of neutrality would hold invaders at bay for a time. Now across this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice. What choice do you have?
Yeah.
What chance?
Poor Rianjay. Just completely passes out.
Against such an insidious foe.
This music, though. Ooh. Belzebard. Thavnir. Oh, it's still going. Okay.
I've seen fairer faces after a bout of bad shellfish. Let me bring you something to drink. That should help settle your bellies.
There was a note with Kryle's instructions. Don't let a Stinian roam the markets alone. He's alarmingly bad with coin.
And none of us can stop him right now. Oh no. Oh no. He's alarmingly bad with... You managed to will yourself to your feet, but given your condition, will you be able to reach Estinian in time? I was about to say, do not be timed. Tundi the Aetherite. Can I... Oof. That's something that helps with aether sickness. By that man who's greetings and welcome. Armor lassie made with only the finest is farmed for going unruly bellies. Overdue for the low for 19,800 for not one, not two, but three. Price is high. Anyways. I thought you could barely stand. What do you need to tell me that's so urgent? Wait, I shouldn't buy the lassie. This merchant is swindling me? Sincerest apologies, sir, but I appear to have my prices confused. It's actually 1,890 gil for the 3 bottles of lassie. That confusion would have been quite costly for both of us. Very well then. Your coin. Yeah. A bottle for each of you. Take them to the others and get some rest. I'll be back after I've explored the town. Oh, I can't just take mine first? Really? Tough. Hundreds of this land. Do I even have one here? No, I don't. Okay. You were in time? Excellent. You spared us Tataru's wrath. Amorlasi. Sweet, sweet release. If you haven't already, you should have yours too. Yeah, like, why didn't you have me take mine first? That would have made sense, so I could get there quicker. Right. Ready to go on with it. That lassie truly worked wonders. Back on your feet, I see. Thy hair. I have bound it. 'Tis the most I could do against this heat, short of shedding my armor. May I ask where you got the cord for it? A local vendor. The man said it's a Thevenarian weave, tough and not easily unraveled. And how much did it cost? 9,400 gil. A steal, I was told. Just nothing fancy, but I've always valued function over form. That's incredible. I dare to say not even Alphino could hold a candle to you. Are all Hanish merchants so unscrupulous? One mustn't be too quick to paint a diverse people with a single brush. If such doth prove to be commonplace, I would presume it symptomatic of a societal instability. Claiming Thavner as its dominion, the nation of Radzatan hath long thrived as a hub of commerce. In the beginning, there were the a Matanga tribe indigenous to this island. Over time, they came to be joined by other races, and through their intermingling, a culture rich and distinct did emerge. From alchemy to textiles, the products of Hanish culture have come to be celebrated and coveted the world over. a development only aided by the nation's prime location as a waypoint betwixt east and west. All of this hath combined to make a trading power of Radzatan, yet such status cannot be taken for granted. Nay, it must needs be maintained through judicious governance and stringent regulation. Neither of which I see any evidence, given that merchants at a gateway town are free to fleece hapless travelers and tarnish the reputation of the nation at large. Just so, that opportunistic pricing is rampant doth suggest that oversight is much weakened, or mayhap that the people have fallen upon hard times. Whatever the truth may be, 'twould be prudent to ascertain the current state of affairs. Prudent and practical, aye. We've naught to lose by learning more. So ere we seek out Kral's acquaintance, shall we see what information we can gather here in Hilahamad? That is a mouthful. Excellent. We didn't exactly get off to a flying start, but we'll make up for it. Be thou assured I am quite recovered. Oh, lassie is truly a boon for unruly stomachs. Is it truly so amusing to see my hair bound? 'Tis how I used to wear it, a functional fashion. Perhaps you were confused by how you found me following Hidhog's demise. It had fallen loose after the Kyrgians removed me from my armor and put me to bed. I simply decided to leave it that way for a time, seeing as I would not don the Azure Dragoon's helm again. Right, let us split up and make inquiries in town. Razia, the pier is yours. Once we've learned what we can, we regroup by the Hathorite. Off-putting though the mere sight of it may be. Yeah, kinda. Go and pop the Chocobo Porter to get it out of the... What? Oh, that's the Gemstone Trader, okay. Welcome, traveler. Which, of course, the map is not currently available. Unsurprising. Crate of fruit. Get the fruit. The crate is laden with fruits, but they are on the verge of spoiling, as if they had been left too long. Oh, that's bad. Gazing out from the pier, you spy boats moored off nearby isles, with the silhouettes of larger seafaring vessels farther away. Compared to other ports you visited in the past, there appears to be very little activity. Strange for, Thavner being basically the cultural epicenter. What am I doing? Oh, recording my sales. Still do it daily out of habit, though I don't know why I bother. Hardly sell anything these days. But business has never been this terrible. But I suppose things could be even worse. I could have a consortium to keep afloat like Kalzal. I don't envy his position, but better to be alone with my little operation, I've come to realize. You're a traveler by the looks of you. If you have a moment, perhaps you could pay Kalzal a visit. He'd be glad for tidings from abroad. Like as not, you'll find him at the Salt Wind Sails, the Harbor Guild building across the water from here. Not seeing anything else to poke at here. It doesn't look like it. Oh! I walked right past you. How did I not see that before? Well now, if it isn't a traveler, you're a rare sight in these unsettled times. People have been giving us a wide berth since that accursed tower suddenly appeared in Aranar. If it just stood there and loomed ominously, perhaps things would be fine after a fashion. But no, it had to spawn fell fiends as well. We still have our lives thanks to the Radiant Host, but business is as good as dead. What'll become of us, only the gods know. Now I go over here. Yeah, at this rate, I'm gonna... We'll see. Kalazal is over here, yep. The Dalmaskins aren't coming? But we already have everything they ordered. What are we supposed to do with it? I don't know, but yelling at me isn't going to help. All I know is that their plans have changed, and that's that. Look, you must have known this might happen. The Empire is at war with itself, and the provinces are in chaos. And then there's this tower sitting on our doorstep, spitting out monstrosities. The city has its defenses, but we've been afforded no protection out here. We can't blame foreigners for not wanting to take the risk. God, this will be an enormous loss. Alright. Forget about the Dalmaskins. Surely some ships are still coming. We have fresh produce, handicrafts, medicines, all the perennial Hanish favorites. Our consortium works closely with the merchants and artisans to supply only the finest wares. Quality is guaranteed. I know all these things, Kalzal. I do. Which is why I regret to say I have nothing for you. All voyages have been cancelled or indefinitely postponed. And you are... Wait, you're a foreigner, are you not? A merchant? Please tell me you're a merchant. Sorry, but no. I see. That's a shame. I'm sorry, but we're discussing important matters. If you need something, please talk to one of the others. Excuse me. My name is Matsuya. I'm here to see Kalzal. Oh, it seems he's busy. Come back later then. And now we follow you. Speak with him in Matsuya. There. Huh? Yes, can I help you? remember seeing you back in the guild. You wanted to speak with Kalzal too, did you? Matsia, a fisherman of Hakiali, a nearby village. I sell my catch to Kalzal, who offers it to foreign merchants. But he hasn't bought anything for a while now. When I heard that the consortium had been struggling, I became worried and decided to come and see him. Just as soon as he's free, anyway. He's a hard-working man, and I dare not disturb him. If I may ask, what is it that you do? I need to get the mic closer. Pick me up decently. An adventurer, you say? You travel the world helping people. Then, that must mean you're great at dealing with strangers. Please, won't you teach me to be like you? You're precious. You see, I brought some fresh fish with me, the portion I couldn't preserve, and I wanted to sell them. Problem is, I'm terrible with people. I've ever only dealt with Kalzal, and I can't talk to customers without getting my trunk in a twist. So please, as silly as it might sound, will you not peddle the fish in my stead and show me how it's done? If you're willing, please let me know, and we can begin at once. You're precious! The events to follow cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations. You'll do it then. Show me how to deal with customers. I'm in your debt. Right. Please try peddling my fish to, shall we say, 3 people here in Ilomahad. I will observe you and learn. Matsuya is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Matsuya high. I knew you. Yeah. Matsuya is precious and has to be protected. End of story. Marana. What is this music? Yes? Greetings, friend. How fare you of late? Greetings to you, too. Suppose I'm well enough, given the circumstance. Things have settled down somewhat, but it was utter chaos when that tower first appeared. Everyone grabbing whatever they could, trampling over each other to get to the city. Many remained there for now, but I could not stay away. Had to come back, continue with my life, such as it is. Whether or not it was the right choice, only time will tell. There's no place like home, but don't do anything dangerous, huh? Oh, trust me, I don't. I make sure to keep well clear of the tower, and when more monsters emerge from it, I heed the Radiant Host's instructions. I hope they deal with it soon so we can get back to our normal lives, to the days when we could earn as much as you gave, and tuck into a meal satisfied that you did good work. Speaking of meals, why not have some fresh fish today? Fresh fish, you say? Oh, you're a fishmonger. When you bait me like that, how can I not bite? Very well, give me some of your fish. I love that this is in first person! Oh my god! Thank you for your custom. The catch of the day is Shadow's cod, delectable stewed in coconut milk, or baked with a sprinkle of salt. Speak with Nashreen. That you should make sail on a first attempt. I've learned a lot already, and I hope to learn more still. Each one of these people is gonna act differently, I'm sure. Oh, you're over there. Matsuya can swim! Yay! That was kind of precious, not gonna lie. Okay, Nashreen, how are you? They're all of the strange. A hawker, are you? Do you sell fruit by chance? So, I want to buy some amara. Let's say a dozen. They don't need to be export quality. What do you need so many amara for? Why, for eating, of course. May seem like a lot, but of late I go through that much in no time at all. I'm a stock taker by trade, but with no vessels coming these days, the wares are beginning to pile up. By the same token, nothing is coming in from overseas. But not a day goes by that someone doesn't come asking when the next shipment is arriving for this and that and this and that. All of it wears me down. I find myself feeling constantly hungry. I know how you feel. Thank you. A pity you don't sell fruit, but I enjoy a little... Oh, okay. Okay. Damn. I thought for sure that would be the right option there. Damn. Guessing you're up there. Yeah. Where's Uriange? This is like any other at first glance. Yet in contrast with scale, there's a distinct lack of activity. Where's Thinker and Stadinian at? Bazama. Bazama. Yeah. Well, what is it? If you don't mind, I'm rather busy. Oh, God, it's my stomach. Hungry? Or aether sickness? No, nothing so unusual. In my hurry to get back to work, I just ate a little too quickly. You should take it easier. Eat more slowly and savor your food. Uh-oh. Would that I could, but I can't afford to be idle. Like as not, circumstances will surely get worse before they get better. So I'm working as hard as I can while I still can. The better to be prepared. How do you intend to prepare? By stockpiling supplies. For that, I need to earn coins so I can buy food, medicine, what have you. How about some fish for your supplies? They're fresh caught. Aha, well, fish wouldn't be bad. But I don't want to go through the hassle of preserving them myself. I'd rather buy stuff that's ready to store. Oh, come on! Really? I tried. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Matsuya. I tried. Accompany Matsuya to the pier and speak with him. I mean, at least the reward doesn't seem to change. I think, if I remember, it tells you if it does. I'm not sure that's ever happened, now that I think about it. I don't know. Oops. I tried. Thank you so much for showing me how to talk to customers. You managed to sell to one of the 3 people you approached. It was difficult, but when you put your mind to it, you succeeded. Well, you did fail too, but there are lessons to be learned in both success and failure. By applying yours, I'll endeavor to become a better peddler. Still, there's only so much I can do alone. I hope that things will return to normal for Kalazal soon. I thought I heard a familiar voice, and who should it be but Matsuya? Kalzal, have you finished your business at the guild? So you were there too. Forgive me. Try as I might, I can't find any buyers. With no ships coming in and hardly any going out, there simply aren't any options at this rate. So you can't buy my fish anymore. I'm sorry, Matsuya, I truly am. But for now, you must peddle your own goods. But by myself, I can't. I want to help you, I do. But as it stands, I can barely help myself. I've poured my all into the consortium, and I'll be damned if I let it fall apart. I have friends and families depending on me. I can't, I won't fail them. The sisters as my witness. Sisters? Mega sisters? Kulzal. Not to worry. Using what I've learned from you, I'm sure I'll manage. Somehow. Well, I'd best return to my village. My thanks again, and please take care on the road. There you are. Gotten over the ether sickness, have you? Mayhap owing to the island's small size, the tower's impact on other people's lives doth appear more pronounced here than in Eosia. I see you've been busy. Managed to learn a tidbit or two, I trust. Shit here sucks. I see. We also heard that the tower is affecting many locals' livelihoods, but to think that it would be to such an extent. For another notable, if not wholly unexpected discovery, disappearances and kidnappings are disturbingly commonplace. As before, the culprits are almost certainly tempered Imperial soldiers. And as before, they mean to use the faith of their hapless thralls to call forth a lunar primal. Business as usual for the Talafaroi. Helping a struggling fisherman you've only just met to peddle his catch? Yes, you would do something like that. Mayhap. Okay, yours didn't change at all. House of Divinities. That Matsuya fellow you were that Matsuya fellow you were helping. He's Harkasadara, is he not? Apparently, it is almost exclusively his people that are being kidnapped. Should he be traveling alone? If summoning is this perpetrator's aim, it doth stand to reason that the Arkasadara would be their primary targets. For 'tis the faith of their ancestors which prevaileth in this land, and many are devout adherents still. We'd better go after him. Hakiali lies to the west, as I recall. The same direction as Carl's acquaintance, incidentally. It's settled, then. Keep your eyes peeled while we make for the village. I am going to assume that quest is for an aetherite. Aether current, rather. Which reminds me... Aether currents were moved. I honestly don't like it. Can I bring that out here? I can. Okay, cool. Yep. child. Ogle is looking around in trepidation. Why are there Matanga everywhere? Has this town fallen? Ah, your face. It is known to me. You were the warrior who fought for the Mole and the Nadam. I'm Ogle of the Iron. It was your bravery and skill which inspired me to embark upon my own hero's journey. Yet now I have foolishly blundered into a den of Matanga. Why do these others walk without fear? Do they not care if they are slaughtered? These Matanga are not like those on the Azim steppe. I do not doubt your word, but grandmother would always warn me, if you encounter a Matanga, you turn your tail and flee, as fast and far as you can. Her tails were awful and bloody, so now the very sight of them, the terror rises unbidden. No, I cannot stay here. I must earn enough coin to buy passage from this nightmare island as soon as possible. I beg of you, stay at my side for a time, just until I meet with this Kansana person the sailors told me about. She is said to have work that pays a fair wage, so I will see what she has. She's gonna be a Matanga. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put the bike onto... No. Wait, I have a new mount? Oh, the stack. I never actually took that away. Where's my bike? There it is. I need to turn that off. Yep. Called it. By the Dusk Mother, no one told me Kankana was a Matanga. Could I ask you to speak with her in my stead? Welcome, Edelmad, traveler. I am Kankana, and it is my job to assign the right work to the right workers. Might I have your name? Razia and Ogle, was it? Let me jot those down. Oh, Grandmother, why? Why did it have to be a Matanga? Is your companion quite alright? An understandable reaction. The Gajasura tribe have done so much to stain the reputation of our people. You are looking for work, though, yes? Many have been forced to take what they can get... to take what they can get since the troubles began. I'm afraid all the simple jobs are gone. As for what's left, I only have tasks fit for seasoned fighters. Does that sound like something you could do? Fighting? I can fight. Lest you doubt, my skills are likened to that of the Dragonbane, the legendary Chakazo herself. I'm not familiar with the name, but you sound formidable indeed. Why don't we start you out on escort duty then? A group of artisans set off to harvest materials and asked that I send any prospective protectors their way should I happen to enlist any. What? They already set off? Is our duty not to escort them? There's to be a ritual dance performed at Kajia's footsteps. They'll need incense and costumes for the dancers and such. The entire thing was decided rather suddenly, so there was no time to waste. And, these artisans you speak of, do they also include Matanga in their number? It was an Arksadara who submitted the request. I hope that won't be a problem. Oh, not at all. I look forward to fainting at the feet of my most feared enemy. Razia, I cannot do this alone. Pray lend me the strength of the victor of the Nadam, and half the reward for this task will be yours. The artisans didn't plan to venture far. We'll only leave Edelamar to the west. You should soon come across your employer. And then that is where we shall meet. You'll find me there, yes? This is going to be an interesting quest line. Ah, you must be our belated escort, yes? Glad to have such courageous, is your companion not well? She seems a touch shaky. Of course, I should have thought of it before. I shall harvest the necessary ingredients, and while the artisan stays here... Oh, while the artisan stays here. That way I have no need to fear him being harmed. Perfect! I must say, this is less than ideal. My people are already scattered across the wilds, and I wanted someone to roam around and ensure they were safe from attack. Is your friend perhaps frightened by Arcasadara? I have met such travelers before. Well, no matter. If you could patrol the area as I asked, I must attend to my own harvesting. Oh, is Soraka? Is... Oh. Whoops. I guess it has it. It has been a bit, hasn't it? You must think me foolish. I was so absorbed in my task that I failed to notice the ground shaking at their approach. Still, my injuries are light and my satchel is full. Thanks to you, I think I can make it back to town in time to meet the others. What happened? Did you slay the beast? You froze. That was a near thing. I took the first one by surprise, but the second... Knowing a Matanga stood at my back, my mind froze and my body refused to obey. Grandmother taught that we should let fear wash over us like water. Oh, I'm about to get hit. That's awesome. That's really dumb. Oh, come on! Fuck you. Taught that we should... Oh, I could not have failed her more thoroughly. Not to sound ungrateful, Razia, but why did you follow me? We were to patrol. Forgive me. I should have waited for orders instead of running off alone, putting lives in peril. Come, we should return to our employer. I want to be sure that the wounded man reaches safety. My colleague told me of his rescue, although we had hoped for an escort from the start. Imagine if you hadn't come at all. I've sent him and the others back to our workshop, so consider your duty with us complete. You have my thanks. As for your payment, that you can collect from Kankana. Right. I suppose we report to Kankana then. Ah, there you are. Your employer expressed satisfaction with your work, so congratulations on a job well done. As a response to the recent chaos, the upcoming ritual was hastily planned, to say the least. As a consequence, the artisans have been hard-pressed to make everything ready. But when times are hard, the people of Thavnair rely on such traditions to renew their faith and bolster their hearts with the teachings of the divine. The death of an artisan would have thrown the whole thing into disarray, and thus your rescue was timely indeed. Please accept your payment, half each, as agreed upon. Are you interested in further work? I may have something for you if so. Out of curiosity. That will likely be involved in unlocking the beast tribes. I'm going to assume. I'll need to pick that back up later. It's up there first, okay. That's going. You do not see Matsuya nearby, but the elevated ground up ahead may provide a better vantage point. Oh, up there. That doesn't work, damn. You do not see Matsuya from here either. No, leave me alone. Help! Somebody help! Matsuya's voice, and it came from the north. Tempered Imperials. Where'd they go? Why are you here? I see you found him in time. You and your friends came to look for me. I don't know how to thank you. On my way home, I took a moment to stop and rest. those men came. Kidnappers. We'd heard that the Harkasadara were being targeted. Surely you have as well? Perhaps it's best if you took refuge in the city. We've considered it, me and the others, but fishing is all we know. The ocean all we have. I see. That's your decision to make, but you should take care not to travel alone. A question, if I may. 'Tis our understanding that strange fiends have emerged from the tower. What canst thou tell us of these beings? Not much, I'm afraid. I have no idea what they are. But I've heard that some bear an unsettling resemblance to our divinities. For that reason, some have taken to calling the tower Zot, House of Divinities in the old tongue, it means. But they're not true divinities. They're monstrous imitations that bring only death. To have one's faith so twisted is a grievous indignity, and full justified art thou in thine outrage. Know that 'tis for no other purpose but to neutralize the tower that we have journeyed to this land. In time we may be forced to contend with these false gods, and thus we would learn all we may about them. Wilt thou not tell us of thy divinities and their true nature? You've come all this way to save us? Really? To think I had you peddling fish. But to answer your question, yes, of course. We would gladly tell you about our gods. We, I say, because I'm a terrible storyteller, and I'd ask my fellow villagers to do it. So please come to our village. We're good gods-fearing folk, all of us. We'd be honored to share our knowledge. And fish. What sayest thou? Shall we pay a visit to Akiali? Wonderful. Just follow the road west and down the hill. You can't miss it. So, 'tis the simulacra of Thavnarian gods that are being summoned. If any doubt existed before, there can be none now. The kidnapped Hanish are imprisoned in the tower. I pray that we will be able to save them. Though indeed, saving them will mean confronting these false gods. Well, like as not. As you said, we'd do well to study their religious traditions. To Hakiali. Ah! I do want to look at Labrinthos, Thavnair, Labrinthos, Thavnair, Garlemald. So 2 in Thavnair, okay. Satormo. Ooh, there's a fate there. I'm the Valorous. Aether Current. this first. Ooh, I'm not alone. Switch to Bard. Where is my stuff at? Oh, Lord. Quick knock. "14 gemstones." What? Welcome to Akiali, my friend. The name means white beach, and there isn't much here save that. But please, make yourself at home. Your companions have already begun talking to everyone. Feel free to show yourself around and do the same. Any one of us can tell you about our gods, but you could do worse than to start with Kanga and underhold his Viveda. They're free at the moment, as it happens. A moment while I do this. Okay, let's see. Kanga. You wish to know about our gods? What a curious visitor you are. Most want fish. In any case, I'm happy to oblige. Now, I don't know how it is whence you hail, but our isle is home to many gods. They can be divided into two groups. The Manusia, beings of wisdom who assume the form of men, and the Murga, beings of might who assume the form of beasts. Together, they are divinities, their forms and personalities many and varied. Some are kind and gentle, others stern and temperamental, just like we mortals can be. All are possessed of great insight and experience, and by heeding their teachings, we strive to be better people and live better lives. Hasveda. Interested in learning about our gods, you say? That's what I like to hear. Prick up your ears then and listen. In ancient times, the Manusia and the Murga, deities who look like men and beasts respectively, were locked in conflict. Eventually, seeking the wisdom of the Manusia, the Murga cast aside their own heads and took up those of their foes. Likewise, the Manusia coveted the might of the Murga, and so they too resolved to trade heads. Thus were born new gods possessed of both might and wisdom, and they ushered in an age of harmony between the two factions. From then on, as a sign of their esteem for one another, the Manusia have worn animal faces, and the Murga the limbs of men. That's creepy. But it explains the Magus sisters having the masks that they do. It's interesting. Matsuya. There you are. Learned a thing or two about our gods, I trust. While you were off talking to the others, I remembered something that may be of interest. If you could let your friends know, I'll go and fetch it from my home at once. Apologies for the wait. I wish to show you this hanging scroll, which depicts 3 of our most revered deities. By all means, we should like to see it. They are Manusia. You heard about them already, yes? 3 sisters. The center one is the eldest, Thindaruva, a goddess of wisdom. For this, alchemists hold her in the highest. To her right is the middle sister, Thandaruva, as a goddess of wealth. She counts many traders among her followers. And on the left is Mindaruva, the youngest sibling. She presides over the crafts, and so is beloved by weavers. Although each is worshipped for different reasons, the sisters are usually portrayed together in these works, which people keep in their homes for good fortune. In like fashion to the Manusia, the deities of Eorzea preside over myriad aspects of life. And what of the Murga, if I may ask? The Murga hold power over nature. In ages past, they were revered as guardian deities in times of conflict. If you have occasion to visit our temples and ruins, you'll find their images there. Among them is a god who possesses a Gaja's head, and he is venerated as the progenitor of the Arcasadara. And then there are dragons. They occupy a special place in our history. You worship dragons too? It's said that an ancestor of the Satrap, that's the ruler of Radzatan, forged a covenant with a dragon divinity in ancient times. This divinity has since acted as the guardian deity of the Satrap. Well, legend holds that if ever the Satrap is in need, his dragon ally will fly to his aid. Dragon ally? You claim to be a You claimed to be a terrible storyteller, but nothing could be further from the truth. The passion you bear for your faith is plain to hear. I am confident that the information you've given us will serve us well in our efforts to deal with the tower. That is very kind of you to say. Thank you. I will pray for your success. Right. I believe it's time we sought out Kryle's acquaintance. I hit the button, hello. An alchemist by the name of Hidana. According to Kral's notes, we're to find her at a place called the Great Work, further north along the coast. Oops. So Zat is House of Divinities. So they saw the left. Okay, the Great Work. Did you say you're going to see Nadana? Oh, how I envy you. She's brilliant and beautiful, kind and understanding. And did I say she's beautiful? I could stare at her dainty ears and adorable trunk all day. I knew it! She's an Arcasadara. And those eyes. When you meet her, take care you don't drown in them. I had a feeling. Oh, I was already on my bike. Whoops. It's already on my bike. quest sitting there at some point. Tune into this Aetheryte first. Great Work's been attacked. Oh, this is voiced.
What happened here?
Imperials, probably.
Their dress marks them as alchemists. I see no evidence of injury or poison.
Thinkest thou they but slumber?
I believe so. Whether it is by choice is another question entirely.
Oh, we have guests. You must excuse the poor welcome. Long days and longer nights have taken their toll, as you can see. I am Vashan, servant to the satrap. My task was, in fact, to wake these good men and women, if you will allow. People of the great work, I come bearing new scales.
Scales?
Scales.
We have new scales?
Oh, that reaction. That's
Yes,
great.
my friends. Gather round. I have them right here.
Those are dragon scales. Those are 100% dragon scales.
Oh, happy day.
Reacher?
Now I can continue
Maybe?
my experiment.
Many thanks.
One for me.
Those are dragon scales.
Yeah. Those are absolutely
Yes,
dragon scales.
Such materials are vital to their most pressing research.
Oh, what's in my pocket?
And we are fortunate to have them. Our experiments are so close to bearing fruit.
Is that Nidana?
Soon we will have a talisman capable of nullifying the etheric emissions from
Yep,
that accursed
that's
tower.
gotta be.
Did I say something wrong? Are you not here with Varshan? Wait, who are you people?
That reaction. Wait, who are you people?
Of course. You're the one Kryl sent. The warrior of light we've been waiting for.
Oh, this is a day of celebration. Praise be to Cinderova.
The winds have shifted. I feel it. The end to our toil is near.
I feel it too. My head hasn't been this clear in days.
Tell me, how did you acquire those scales?
Curious that it concerns you so. But worry not. They were freely given by the dragon with whom our satrap has forged a lawful pact.
That is well.
Reacher?
You must be quite familiar with Dragon King. yes?
What? How did? What?
Is this their congealed blood I feel in your weapon?
Speaking of dragon blood, you yourself have been infused with it, have you not? I should like to draw a file or two.
Oh my god! I'm peeking the mic, I'm sorry.
Here. Come along,
alone, I must insist that you visit our laboratory.
Jump away, Estinian, jump away.
Cease your shoving, or so help me.
Oh.
Oh dear, your poor companion. What with the new scales and your timely arrival, my colleagues are a little giddy with excitement. No harm will come to him, I promise. Meanwhile, shall we find a quiet place to talk?
We're just gonna leave him here? Are we really just going to leave him here?
I am Nidana, the alchemist who sent the request to your mistress Kryl. We have workshops across the nation collaborating on this research project. But it is here, at the great work, where I collate our results. Come with me, all of you, and I can explain the crux of the situation.
We're actually going to just leave Estinian to be bombarded by researchers? Okay, please tell me I can go back and talk. Where? Estinian? Estinian. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. I don't even know why they bother to keep these. I guess we're leaving Estinian. 'Cause he's not there. How many are there? Travel, ether currents. Quite a few, but only 5 requests. Okay. That reminded me, didn't they say something about other ones being reduced? Holy crap. You weren't kidding. We actually left Estinian behind. Arianche. 'Tis said that shellfish is ideal for those who have suffered blood loss. Mayhap we should have acquired some from Matsia. Not even like concerned. Thancred? Oh, for the days when I enjoyed such fervent adoration. But on this occasion, I am glad to entrust the burden of popularity to Estinian. Pray pay me no mind. I am here that I may be of service. Nothing more. Poor Estinian. That's hilarious. Allow me to thank you for answering our call. Many towers have appeared around the world, and we are grateful that you would assist us with ours. Though Kryl herself is tied up with another investigation, Razia is an eminently capable substitute, and we will spare no effort to aid you. So if I understand correctly, you seek to make talismans that can nullify etheric emissions. Indeed we do. As you know, the tower emits vast concentrations of ether. One cannot go anywhere near it without being tempered. As such, we can only study the tower from afar, and are powerless to deal with it in any consequential way. In order to strike back, the Satrap bade us alchemists create enchanted talismans. Talismans that will allow our soldiers to venture into the tower, even should they lack innate protection. Could such a thing be possible? Admittedly, we are still in the midst of testing, but we are quite confident. Even prior to this, our people have long pursued countermeasures against the etheric corruption of primals. Of the methods tested to date, those utilizing dragon scales proved the most promising. Owing to their etheric density, the scales are highly resistant to disruptive forces. The mightier the dragon, the greater the resistance. We seek to amplify this protective property through our alchemy. Thanks to the scales provided by His Excellency, we have been able to make steady progress with the talisman. Soon we will be ready to conduct a field test, and here is where you and your blessing of light come in. Better than having my blood drawn, I suppose. Perhaps so. And knowing my colleagues, they won't be satisfied with blood alone. But as for your task, we ask only that you serve as an escort. I will explain in greater detail. You will be venturing into the tower's field of influence. And so, for your own safety, I would first test how well your blessing shields you. With your permission, of course. In that case, Urianger and I will find other ways to make ourselves useful. Seeing as you all work to the point of collapse, I suspect you could do with more hands. We would be grateful for any assistance you can provide. Goodbye! If you are ready, then let us put your blessing to the proof. If you exit the Great Work, then turn south, there will be a hill to the right. I will meet you at the top after seeing to some preparations. I hope you didn't have trouble finding this place, or climbing the hill. Not all are accustomed to the physical strain. I give you the fruit of our sweat, tears, and many a sleepless night. The drunken Deepa. A Deepa is a lantern presented to the gods as an offering. Taking inspiration from the tradition, we created this device to test the talisman's efficacy. Upon activation, it will move a certain distance before emitting a powerful blast of ether. In lieu of corruption, those lacking sufficient protection will experience severe aether sickness. For your test, you will be exposed 4 times. That should be enough to ascertain your blessing's protective capability. Please begin whenever you're ready. I shall be observing from a safe distance. Commencing etheric exposure testing. Repeat, commencing etheric exposure testing. Retreat to a safe distance if you are not the subject. And try not to fall behind. The drunken Deepa leads the way. Try not to fall behind. I'm running ahead of it. Yeah, okay. Readying ether. Please stand back. Readying ether. Please stand back. Ready to discharge. Test subjects, please gather near. Warning! Discharging ether. You are struck by a powerful blast of ether, but suffer no ill effects. Subject has no irrepressible urge to empty their stomach. Confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow. Readying ether, please stand back. Ready to discharge. Test subjects, gather near. Yeah. You are struck by another powerful blast of ether, but suffer no ill effects. Thavnir is gorgeous. Just saying. Confirmed. Confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow. What? Where are you going? Warning, discharging ether. Still nothing. So the blessing of light appears to be keeping you safe from harm. Ready for a final discharge. Did it speed up? Kind of feels like it did. Oh, no. Maybe a little bit. Oh. completely unscathed. Please collect and deliver me to the supervising alchemists. Oh, and conveniently, Nadana is right here. Excellent. And not on your knees. Come, let me take the Deepa off your hands. Drunken D. I fucking love that. Oh, because it's drunken. Ha! Best Aether for when we test the talisman. So no dizziness or nausea or anything of the sort? You're feeling perfectly fine? Completely. It's beyond doubt. There's no risk that the tower will corrupt your Aether. This, we can request your aid for the task ahead with easy hearts. Shadowed footsteps. Spirit weed. Herb grows not far from here, and I would like to go and harvest some. With the recent spate of kidnappings, however, we Arcasadara travel alone at our own peril. Will you not come with me as my escort? I would compensate you for your troubles, of course. Naturally. I'm in your debt. Without further ado, let us head to Kajaya's footsteps. It's situated on the road which runs east of the Great Work. Just through these pillars and up the rise. Better safe than sorry.
Yes, that would be Radzat Han. Hardly anyone has been allowed in or out since our troubles with the tower began. The faithful citizens huddle inside the city walls, and commerce has all but ground to a standstill. I pity the satrap, the trials he must be facing.
What can you tell me of this satrap?
Well, he is the most important person in Radzat Han. Long ago, this island was home to two tribes of Matanga, the Gajasura and the Arkasodra. When the Aura came to these shores, it was the Arkasodra with whom they joined forces. Together they defeated the warlike Gajasura, forcing them to flee Thavnair altogether.
They went to Arthurd.
Peace and prosperity reigned for a time, until a clan of Hjord from the mainland decided they wanted the island for themselves.
The Garleans.
It was a direct ancestor of the present satrap who arbitrated that conflict and welded the warring factions into the nation we know today. And ever since, a member of that esteemed lineage has inherited this somewhat unique position. You see, by and large, the state is run by the people, but when problems arise, it is the satrap who mediates a solution. The stability provided by the satrap is what has allowed Radzat Khan to thrive all these years. And it was the satrap himself who entrusted us with this duty. We will not fail him, nor our countrymen.
What is the delay with the vessel? I told you I need to adjust those ratios.
Hi, Fandaniel. Go away.
I come all this way to admire one of my splendid towers, and what do I find? Fools attempting to ward off its tempering influence with magic trinkets. I seem to recall a similar experiment in ages past. What was that man's name? Oh, something. Owen?
Owen.
Another body, another time. Who could be expected to remember every trivial detail?
Well, that was interesting.
Allowing them to construct such handy talismans would be counterproductive to my plans. And yet, I find myself deathly curious. How will they manage this feat with the limited knowledge and resources at their disposal? Complications be damned, for we cannot escape the nature of our souls. And I, as ever, am my own worst enemy.
That's a good while. Thank you for keeping watch. Let's head back to the great work, shall we? It does work. Alright, check the internet to see if we can play. Yes. Because I'm lazy. That does work. Okay. There's a white fat chocobo? What? He's accepted as a token of my gratitude. A boys. Little does Nidana know, I'm going to send you on another errand. If you'll excuse me, I shall return to my work on the talisman. Ah, you are both back. Excellent. I have a message for you, Mistress Nidana. It would seem the stores of Giant Skull are running low. Oops. What? But when last I looked, there was still plenty. I suspect that was before Oriange told everyone about their tempering cure, and Estinian shared his knowledge of dragons. Your peers have since been inspired to fashion a number of new talisman prototypes. I see. Well, if it leads to new possibilities, then far be it for me to complain. but we will need to replenish our stores. I should be happy to tend to this if you like. As much as I appreciate the offer, my dear boy, I can't in good conscience send you out there alone while kidnappers are at large. Razia, loath though I am to press another task on you so soon, might I ask you to fetch the giant skull? In case you're not familiar, giant skull is a type of ore found on the island. Owing to its hardness and ethereal conductivity, it has applications in many disciplines, alchemy not least of all. The quarry where it is found, aptly named Giant Skull Grounds, isn't far away, so it shouldn't take much of your time. May we impose on you once more? Of course. Thank you. Upon arriving at the grounds, please seek out a man named Zedanuya. He will furnish you with your... At the very least, permit me to accompany you. It so happens I have an errand of my own that will take me to the outpost nearby. May we borrow a pair of Hamsa, Mrs. Nadana? By all means, do try to be patient with them. Those that survived are still in training. I will bring the Hamsa to the entrance. Meet me there when you are ready. Hamsa? Oh, those are the things that just killed him. Did I kill a mount? Did I kill him? Aether current thing. Gib. Gib. I suppose that was kind of pointless, wasn't it? A hero with black hair. This is adorable, honestly. Which means sword. Cast down at conflict's end. Oh, it's actually showing like how far that spreads. That's cool. See, it's travels a small isle. Just the island, huh? Almost there. Though the main part of the hatchery is atop the cliff, the outpost itself is on the beach. Hey, free experience. Hamsa Hatchery. And let's just discover 2 more areas here in a bit. There we go. That's one. And it did count that last one. On an errand for the satrap. What is that gear? It looks good. I am. His Excellency bade me come to collect your report. He also wished to express his heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women of the Radiant Host for their unflagging dedication. We simply do our duty. We are honored to receive His Excellency's regard. And yet, for his boundless benevolence, his treatment of one so young could be regarded as callous. Though we have enjoyed relative peace and calm these past few days, this remains the front line of battle. No place for children. Your predecessor, too, often traveled alone. It's been, 2 years now since you took over? I wonder how the fellow was faring. Like those before him, he went on to represent the satrap in foreign lands. Wherever he may be now I am certain he is well. As for myself, that's going to come up later. I assure you that all I do of my own volition, and gladly. I pray you do not think ill of His Excellency. Certainly not, lad. Whatever happens, my faith in this satrap is unwavering. Still, I worry for you. We would be overcome with sadness if something were to befall you, for you are as a little brother to us all. Take care, do you hear? I will not, Abdeen. Thank you. Who might this be? Not Hanish by the look of her. Permit me to introduce Razi Orlandis of the Eorzean contingent, come to assist in the making of the talisman. From Eorzea, you say? Towers have appeared over there too, yes? Tell me, what's the situation like? May I suggest you exchange information with our soldiers? Both parties would stand to learn something of value, I believe. An excellent idea, given the unprecedented nature of the threat. Some of ours are understandably anxious. We would be glad for any tidings you can share. You too. Bring Varshan the unedited report and answer any questions he may have. Okay, that gear. I want it. That gear looks really good. It occurs to me I have yet to properly introduce our company. We are the Radiant Host, a military order under this satrap's command. Our duty is to preserve peace in the land, be it patrolling the streets or dealing with heretofore unknown threats such as now. We train hard and admit only capable warriors to our ranks. Even so, we've struggled to contend with the fiends from the tower. Though we succeeded in striking them down on the 2 occasions they came in force, we had to pay a heavy price. What are the towers in Eorzea? Do they likewise spawn monsters? So it's much the same everywhere. With every nation struggling, we cannot expect calls for outside aid to be answered. I've heard about you, the visitor from Eorzea. Is there anything you can tell us about the Telophoroi? We know that they're the ones behind the tower, and that they've declared war on the whole world. But why are they doing this? What is it they want? This, we don't understand. They want destruction. They want to die, and take everyone with them. What madness is this? Well, you can bet that we won't let those bastards have their way. We'll fight them with everything we have, like our Eorzean and Far Eastern brothers. You wish to know about the tower? To be honest, we know little and less about it ourselves. This Tower of Zot, as folks have taken to calling it, suddenly appeared where it did on the Isle of Nuranair. We're safe from its influence at this distance, but go too far into the water and you'll expose yourself to its corrupting ether. You're a foreigner, aren't you? How are they dealing with the tower in your homeland? Staying away. Our struggles are not unique. Then our hopes still lie with the talismans. We must keep the monsters contained until they are ready. Finished speaking with the soldiers, have you? I hope it was as enlightening for you as it was for them. As a neutral nation and trading hub both, Rods at Hand ordinarily receives a steady stream of news from abroad. Alas, this stream died up when the trading vessels stopped coming. Amidst the dearth of information, everyone will have been grateful for your account. But come, you had best see to your original errand, as mine will keep me here a while longer. However, I'm afraid I cannot guide you the rest of the way. Worry not, the path is straightforward. You need but follow the road east. Upon the Hamza, you will arrive before you know it. Brief though it was, I enjoyed our time together. Till we meet again. Oh, that's an A, right? Wait, no, that's an S rank. for a second that was Lise. Hmm? Just some random person, I guess. This place is pretty.
I see our taskmasters have allowed you a moment's respite as well.
Get up for a second.
You have to hand it to these activists. They are determined to see this endeavor of theirs succeed. I've never been one for blind optimism, but I sincerely get the sense they're close to a breakthrough.
They had better be, or all this effort was for naught.
The peoples of Eorzea, of the Far East, of Thavner, children of this star united in common cause against a dire threat. Yet ere they succumbed to suicidal madness, were not the Telophoroi born of her body as were we? They who cling to life and the promise of the morrow's dawn, against they who desire death and an ending of their own orchestration. The victors of this war alone will hold the right to answer the question of existence, of its meaning, and its worth.
Poetic and ominous to a fault. That said, if it's an existential debate in nature, then our arguments might not be as persuasive as you'd think. Fandaniel wants to die and take everyone with him in an orgy of pain and suffering. An utterly vile and unforgivable idea. And yet, when spat upon by fate and wailing in the deepest pit of despair, who among us can say they have not entertained similar thoughts? There are nights black as pitch, bereft of hope, and no words of comfort can reach you. And it's all you can do to grit your teeth and choke back the bile.
The more you see and suffer life's injustices, the more difficult they become to bear. Vengeance is nurtured in similar soil. Though your anger has a broader focus, the sentiment is much the same. A fervent desire to destroy others, to see them drown in torment, as you have.
That about sums it up. The will to endure is not always as strong as the urge to burn it all down and salt the earth. Survival be damned. It's a struggle, often close and brutal.
Indeed. Well, I, for one, shall pray survival proveth more appealing in the end.
As will I. Besides, our chances are much improved when we've the company of others committed to the cause of life. Our vengeful dragoon here is proof of that.
There's someone there.
What is it? What did you see? Fandaniel, are you sure? If he knows we've been working on a countermeasure.
It holds. The vessel holds. This is the one.
They figured it out.
At long last.
Look! We have finally created a talisman strong enough to withstand our experiments. We've named it a warding scale for the time being. With this in your possession, your soul should be completely shielded from corruptive ether.
A Afforded such protection, any one of us may approach the towers without fear. Thou hast mine admiration. 'Tis an invention of historical significance.
I thank you for your kind words. But I would prefer you keep them unsaid until we test the talisman's efficacy in the field.
Yeah.
It is for the next stage of our plan that we summoned you in the first place, to accompany me to the Tower of Zot. Should the scale prove effective, as I very much hope it will, then you'll have little to do. But should the effect be weaker than anticipated, I must ask that you restrain me, or knock me senseless.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Either way, we are fortunate to have you with us.
Nidana, are you certain you wish to do this?
If others are to trust our creations, then we must have faith in them first. And as the senior researcher, it falls to me to lead by example. But should I fail to return, then learn what you can from this attempt and apply it to the next. Our work must continue. Is that clear?
We'll keep an eye on the place while you're away. Assuming Fandaniel is lurking about, there's no telling what mischief he has in mind for us, or you. Be on your guard.
Right.
Shall we be on our way? I'll have one of the soldiers at the hatchery prepare us a boat, and we can set out from the northern shore. I'll see you there.
don't like this idea. This feels like a bad idea, okay?
We should soon cross the threshold of the tower's influence. Any moment now. It's working! And you are still yourself? Then I'd like to see how it fares closer to the tower if we could.
That's an eyeball on the door. Something is gonna happen. Still working.
So far, so good. The scale's protection appears to be holding. If we can just make it to the tower's entrance. A few more steps.
Still holding.
Praise be to the sisters, we made it! And the scale has proven itself to be everything we hoped it would be. Now we can focus on production. Once we've equipped and returned with an entire survey team, this menace will soon give up its secrets. What?
Yep. He's been kidnapped. Nidana. That was a bad idea. Yeah, you may be protected from being tempered, but you're not protected from being grabbed. Yep, Arcasadara all over the walls. As expected.
Oh, let me go! Oh, let me go! Oh!
Oh, do calm down. You'll only hurt yourself thrashing about like that.
Stop! Oh, you can't do this! Please!
Hate that.
A little late for heroics, I'm afraid. The similarities are striking.
Similarities?
My! Such hostility! Never before has my artistry so displeased. My patrons of old would have positively squealed in delight, though, between you and me, I find gushing praise exhausting.
Patrons of old?
Allow me to tell you a story. Surely you've yet to hear the one about Van Daniel, the sundered Asian. I inherited the position and the soul of the Van Daniel who sat on the convocation in the time of the final days, theoretically speaking.
Yeah, we knew this.
Practically speaking, that fact is of no consequence. I was born and and lived as, well, me. Eventually, I was recruited into the Ascians and imbued with the former Fandaniel's knowledge and memories, but I never felt that they were truly a part of who I am. How to explain? Perhaps if I told you who I was before my Ascian embrace, although that chapter too is a past I've long since discarded. I have it on good authority you've poked your nose into an Allegan ruin or two. Yes?
Yes.
Then I expect you've heard of me. The old me.
No. No.
At your
What? What? I'm sorry if that peaked the mic.
of unbridled prosperity.
Oh my god.
Every need met. Day after day of unbroken, unshakable peace. Existence fulfilled and ripe for decay.
You are a genius without peer, Amon. However do you conceive of such delightful experiments? That fool was beside himself with panic when he awoke with the head of a bull. Even his cries for help emerged as so much guttural lowing. Oh, the memory of it. My poor sides. My friends and I were so consumed by laughter we struggled to breathe.
No more than entertainment for bored wastrels ignorant of its worth. My all-consuming work. But it was not their only indulgence. For they were ever hungry for stimulation, slaves to the slightest hint that amusement was afoot. Our nation was ailing, but I would see the poison purged. I resurrected a legend, our first and greatest emperor. And just as I had planned, he set our wayward empire back on the path of conquest. An inexhaustible ambition carried us onwards, always onwards. Yet, he who delivered to us such glory was not to be satisfied.
Heed me, Amon. No matter how vast one's empire, or full one's treasure vault, all is rendered meaningless by death. In the end, all is lost.
You know as well as I that the Emperor stands to lose this war, and so I have come to claim you.
Oh.
For while your methods leave something to be desired, we cannot deny the results of your work. And as fortune would have it, the seat of Fandaniel, your rightful seat, lies vacant and waiting. Take your place amongst your peers, rather than die a pointless death amidst the ashes of your doomed nation. Send one of your clones to the Crystal Tower that you might see for yourself. See what lies ahead.
My lord's ambition.
The the fall of the Empire affirm the truth. Majestic and tragic, as the Emperor foresaw. Scheme as you like, build as you will, nothing endures. What is life but a brief jaunt ending in emptiness?
And he's gone. Oh boy. I, faithful Fandaniel.
So easily distracted. Why, I almost left without saying farewell.
Piss off.
As for your friend, you needn't worry. These pawns are far more useful to me alive as fuel for the primates. If you attempt to pull them free, they will die. So, enjoy tackling that conundrum with your comrades.
I want
We
to
shall
kill you
meet again.
more.
Not in these mind-inspired, oh no, but somewhere more suitably grandiose. Your favorite playmate is ever so eager to see.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I cannot help but think of the line at the end of 5.3 where Fandaniel reveals his face to Xenos. He says the line, I faithful Fandaniel, seek only... something along the lines of seeking only to accomplish his lord's ambition. That sentence takes a whole different meaning now, possibly. Oh, boy. Just a real quick check. 222 to the east. Okay. It should be within range of where I'm at. Oh, that is infuriating. 84 to the northeast, so yeah, it's up here. Oh, there it is. Saw it as soon as I hit the damn thing. Rise to the south, okay. Oops. .448 to the southeast. That might be out of my reach. Now, what am I looking for? One Sortamong in the perfumed rise. Now I at least know what they look like also. You know what? While I'm here... Something's gone awry, hasn't it? What happened? So it was Fandaniel after all. Damn that bastard. But you were right to return here first. The satrap of Razatan. Oh. Nidana. Can you answer me this? Though Nidana is trapped in the tower, she's still alive, yes? For now, yes. Then we must make warding scales. As many as we can. The prototype works perfectly. This Nidana proved at peril to herself. So let us make more scales that she and all those who were taken might be saved. Aye. As alchemist, this is how you will help win the fight. Hello, Varshan. My friends, the satrap has been made aware of the tragedy. He offers his heartfelt condolences and reiterates his pledge to provide you with all that you require. To that end, he bade me give you this link pearl, that he might personally discuss the production of the warding scales with you. Wow. And for our Eorzean visitors, I bear an invitation. In her report, Mistress Nidana noted your vital contributions to the talisman's creation. The fact came to the satrap's attention, and in recognition of your deeds, he wishes to meet you. In addition to thanking you in person, he would also discuss further avenues of collaboration. And so, if it is agreeable, will you not accompany me to Razatan for an audience with His Excellency? We should be honored, of course. Close cooperation between our lands can only be to the benefit of all. Then it is settled. Please come to the gates east of the Giant Skull grounds, and I will show you into the city. Right, it was 6 to rank 2. Right. Okay, it's up there. These things are popping a lot too, damn. Oh! I need you. There's that ether current. Wonderful. $241 to the east, so that's going to be over there somewhere. Oh, it's not even letting me drop down there. Okay. Can actually kind of appreciate that, though it is a little disappointing, admittedly. $198, maybe it's not. It's right down there, isn't it? now I know. When last I visited, the city was brimming with life. I expect the tower has dampened the mood somewhat. Be it here or in Eorzea, all share in the desire to deliver the captives. Thus united, I pray that we may join in common cause with the satrap. Of the satrap, I only know the common tidbits, though the position is hereditary, he is not considered a sovereign, and that despite possessing considerable authority, he wields it sparingly. Given the esteem in which the locals hold him, however, it's safe to assume he's good at his job. We could do far worse for an ally. All present? Then let us proceed. Owing to the threat to the tower, the city is currently in a state of high alert, and strict restrictions are in place for entry. Though you have been granted special permission, I ask that you remain close to me at all times. I cannot speak.
A vast rock squats upon Favnir, and to its stony surface clings the city of Rods at Han. Ye who enter here are subject to the scrutiny of gods, the gate's most watchful eye. The orb which beholdeth the truth of all things. Pass beneath its hot and piercing gaze, bearing down like a second midday sun. The fragrant haze, a mixture of sweet incense and acrid smoke. The cries of merchants mingled here with lively melodies accented by dancers' feet. Travelers seduced by vivid sound and colors were once swallowed up by patchwork streets. But no such scenes to savor now. To what somber present does that divine eye bear witness?
Here we are, Megaduta.
Oh. Oops. I thought that was already on.
It seems a shame to bring you here directly. Under normal circumstances, it would have been my pleasure to show you the sights.
And it would have been our pleasure to see them. Alas, it seems our tour of the city will have to wait.
I'm afraid so. Come, we should head inside. Your Excellency, may I present our honored visitors?
Most splendid. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ahawan, satrap of Radzatan. Our alchemists tell me your assistance was invaluable in the creation of the warding scale. Such deeds ought to be recognized in person. Thus did I have young Varshan convey you here forthwith. On behalf of my people, may I express to you our sincere gratitude.
Not everything went to plan.
I assume you speak of Nidana. A regrettable incident indeed. Her colleagues insist that we honor her wishes and trust in the talisman, that it will be instrumental in saving Nidana and the others. I am eager to hear your opinion on the matter, so let us not stand on ceremony. Come, sit.
I think not. This charade has gone on long enough. Show yourself.
Just talking to Vritra.
Forgive me, but were you expecting musicians, perhaps? There are no performers waiting in the wings at present, but arrangements could be made if you'd prefer.
You feel Vritra.
Nay, he hath the right of it. The time for artifice is past. Raise the curtain.
He's not speaking Dravanian.
As you wish.
Vritra is not speaking Dravanian.
You travel as assistants to the students of Valdesian, but you are known to me. Even here have we heard of the scions of the Seventh Dawn. I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode.
Vritra, of the first brood, sibling to Hraesvelga and Nidhogg.
Aye, mine elder brothers, of Midgard's former spawn. I was last to hatch.
Well, isn't this a surprise? We were told Radzatan had an alliance with the dragon. Not that a great worm sat in the satrap's own hall.
A necessary subterfuge, as the true tale of our nation history illustrates most effectively. In the beginning, the rock upon which our city is built was home to Vitra, and Vitra alone. In time, the ancestors of the Matanga came to the island and established a foothold. But never did they dare disturb the worm's lair. Next to arrive with the Aura, adopting the example of their Akasodra allies, they too treated Vitra with reverence and respect. And for many years, an understanding between our forefathers and the Great Worm endured. Until marauding heroes from the mainland came, threatening to shatter our peace and tranquility. When it seemed all would be drowned in blood, Vitra himself came forth and quelled the rising conflict. A peaceful accord was reached, and oaths sworn in Vitra's name. Thus began the dragon's governance of the fledgling state, which was to grow into Radzatan.
But if Vritra is still here, then your position as satrap is just...
An illusion.
A charade.
A charade,
Yes.
yeah.
And one which my family has performed faithfully for generations.
Yep. That's why the position is hereditary.
Were it known that I ruled here, then the fires of war would burn without end. I would not be the flame which consumeth my people. Those few who join me in laying
It was taken.
Oh.
'Tis here, buried within the semblance of flesh. The body before thee is but a
Oh.
simulacrum, constructed by the finest artisans of Razatan.
Oh.
With mine eye nestled within, it doth serve as an
Holy shit!
vessel for my wind.
That would explain why I felt the presence of a dragon upon our first meeting.
I am woven with words fashioned to deceive such arcane senses. Though 'twas short-lived, it seemeth thy fusion with my brother hath left thee much altered, Estinian warm-blood.
Yeah.
From the very first, we sensed the nature of one another, yet did neither one of us bear his fangs.
I knew something about the kid was off, but I wasn't expecting that.
That is all I need know of thee for now.
With my secret thus revealed, I have for you a proposal. Not as a worm of the first brood, but as the ruler of Razatan. With all haste must we take in hand the finished talismans and breach this foul spire. Thence, should it lay within our power, dispel its wicked influence. Yet even with the assurance of the warding scales, the narrow confines of the tower doth limit.
Oh, did this go straight, just straight into the dungeon?
And thus denied strength in numbers, thou must choose thy soldiers with care.
Just so. Yet though our radiant host is formidable, I see a surer path before me. Thou and thy comrades have contended with a multitude of primal beings. Most recently, thou didst cast down false gods in Pagalthan and Cartanau, I am told. 'Tis upon that strength I would call. The scions have proven themselves the most capable, and I ask that you serve as the tip of our spear. Talismans would, of course, be provided for each of thy companions. And should you agree to this undertaking, more will be provided to make use of as you see fit.
There's no denying it's a dangerous proposition, but the rewards may far outweigh the risk. Just think of what we might accomplish if we could equip all our allies with warding scales. I worry, however, that even the four of us may be too few for what you have in mind.
Ah, there it is.
Regroup with our friends first to discuss the matter.
'Tis no trifling task that I have laid before you. Go, steel your hearts and hone your plans. Such time as you require shall be spent in crafting your protective charms.
It seems a quick trip back to Charlian is in order.
And Estinian just goes.
Not lend thine aid.
Whether your request be made as a great worm or the ruler of Razatan, I see no reason to refuse, nor will I.
I am in thy debt.
If our course of action is decided, let's not tarry. That we should encounter one of the first brood in such a circumstance. Yeah. That meeting took a rather unexpected turn, but we now have a clear objective ahead of us. Let us rejoin our comrades in Shalian and muster a suitable crew for our foray into the Tower of Zot. Oh, and if you haven't already done so, be sure to attune to the Aetheryte here before departing. Unless, of course, you enjoy violent nausea. And back to Harlian. Which is in others, okay. Whew, 1,500 for this teleport. Damn! And I have no tickets at all. Oh, whoops. The Northern Empty. Old Shine. Fritra and his alchemists have prepared us for Fritra and his alchemists have prepared us for our foray into the tower. What we may accomplish within its twisted halls remaineth to be seen. The conflict between Nidhogg and I is in the past, and though they were brothers, it has no bearing on my view of Fritra. Above all else, he is a leader of men, not an enemy. He would hardly dedicate his life to this endeavor if he bore our kind any ill will. They have anything different to say? No. Okay. Just as I was getting used to the balmy Thavnair, we're back in chilly Shalian. Take care not to catch your death, eh? We need you for the battles to come. Now then, your investigation here remains, but when that's over, we can take stock of all of the developments and discoveries. I'm gonna do the next part on Bard.